All right, so another Saturday. Sun's coming up. All the snow melted away. It's supposed to be decent today, like 15 degrees. So wanted to really get going on some work. Plan for today is to start working on the airlines. See how far I can get. I got a whole bunch of connectors and start working on that. I'm also gonna put all the wheels, all the inners on and torque them. I'm getting the outers polished. They should be ready next weekend. And yeah, finished the roof cap. So I patched it up. Of course, there were a lot of folks that said it should have been replaced with the fiberglass cap as opposed to just patching it. And I agree wholeheartedly. But again, the goal is to get this truck running and driving. And likely what I'll do, because I'm not a body man by any means. So I'll get it good enough to go down the road, get it mechanically solid, and then I'll probably take it to a body shop next year and let the pros finish up the hood, put the new roof cap, the FiberTech roof cap on, and re-huck bolt it and paint it up with the sleeper and get her just tip top. So I'm going to go back to mechanical work now, but I think you know, the patch job did work. We'll keep the rain off our head. You can see some of the fiberglass poking through. So again, temporary repair, but it should be sealed up now. I've primed it. I've put some insulation, injected insulation into the cubby holes so the mice can't get back in. And I'm gonna go, I painted the column and the pedals, primed it. Obviously need to get some new seats, but it's coming along. Plan today as well with the airlines. I got new cab mounts. I figure since the sleeper's off, it's a good time to get the cab mounts put on. So I think this is gonna be a bit of a bear to try and get in there, but I mean, they're just rotten. So I'll try and impact that off and then use a bottle jack to hold up the cab so I can swap them out with new ones. But yeah, that's the plan. So let's get started. So while I was underneath sandblasting earlier in the year, I noticed that aluminum and steel don't like to play nice together. So this guy was actually bolted on the inside of the frame, and you can see it totally rotted away. So I went to Fort Garry, disconnected all the lines, and I got a new relay valve here. It's about $100. So we'll put that in today and reconnect those lines. But yeah, just another thing, having to replace components. They're old and rotten. There's the new one. So we'll get that guy in place as well. So I finally got myself my hands on an impact. So this is making quick work of this. So you'll notice these are reverse threads. For guys who do a lot of tires, you'll know that this side of the truck is left-handed threads. But that's one thing you got to keep in mind. This is way quicker than doing this by hand. So before I can torque these, I need to make sure the threads are good and clean. So I'm just trying to get all the old anti-seize out of there. Now, I did check the specs, and with anti-seize, they recommend, I think it's 350 to 400 with anti-seize, and then if it's dry, they want 450. So I'm going to use anti-seize just because these old lugs are kind of a pain. And one of the techs at Stall Peterbilt suggested that you also put a little bit of anti-seize right on this shoulder here, because that could be a place that causes some trouble with these old lugs, these old bud lugs. So I'll make sure I do that, and we'll zip these on and torque them up to 400. All right, so I got all the buds on there. I'm just gonna start tightening them up. All right, so from there I'll get the torque wrench out and finish the job. All right, got her set to 400, which is a lot. There it goes. There. Done. One down, 7 to go. All right. Well, it's official. She's finally on her own shoes again. No more jack stands. So I got all 4 mounted and torqued. So that's done. Also got these, I guess you call them wheel spacers. So they're just to make sure that the wheels don't fuse together. And it appears I got the wrong ones. So I guess I'll be pulling back to traction to get the right ones. These must be for the newer style. So I'm glad I checked. But yeah, she got her wheels on, and the as I mentioned, the outers are just getting polished by a local company here in Edmonton. So as soon as I get those back, we'll put them on, and she'll be on all. So the old measure twice, cut once. But the nice thing about these connectors are they are pretty slick. If you do make a mistake and the hose is too short, you simply unscrew the top and leave the this guy in place, because I've already got some thread sealant down there, and then you simply cut a new piece of hose, and then you put the that little coupler in there, and basically just put this back on and tighten it up. That's just like I did on this side. So it's a pretty slick system for either repairing or changing hoses. So the other problem with these is you can't get swivels. So what you do is you essentially put your little clip on, and you put the hose on, and you just tighten that up, and then as you tighten it, it's only when it gets to the very end, it's only going to give the hose a bit of a twist, so it which is acceptable. So yeah, pretty simple system. So just continuing away here, putting a little thread sealant on the threads. I'm trying to do this one-handed, so it's a little tricky, but yeah, so I'm just kind of picking away at the lines one by one. I got the T's into the airbags and got those lines going up. So now those are for the park, and now this T here on the differential is for the service of the brake pots. So keep working away here.